Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
And welcome to the Reaver Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. That's right. Right here on SHR Media, conservative media done right. And tonight, we have another special guest. All the way from the Christmas Pass, SHR's Christmas Pass, BZ.
Aloha, and welcome to all. Merry Christmas.
And happy Bah Humbug.
And that too.
How are you doing, sir?
Doing well, doing well. It's, what is today? Today's Friday.
The 20th.
Friday. So 5 days until Christmas, kids.
I didn't realize it was.
You have your shopping done, kids? I had my shopping done 2 months ago.
Oh, I don't even know if my wife started. My wife is the one that does all the shopping, so my wife's good like that. Well, so far we averted a government shutdown.
Disaster!
The end of the world.
Aliens will fall from the skies. The burning hot dogs will fall over the lakes. There will be hot bolts that originally came from the Titanic, and they will fly down, and they will set forests on fires. And there will be hot and cold running raccoons, and they will invade your pantry, and they'll eat everything, including the rubber on your tires, and you will be well and truly screwed. Huh, Joe?
Basically, yeah, that sounds like what they're trying to push on us. Oh my God, I said this. If you get a job, why isn't that doing it? If you got a job with the federal government, you know there's a risk of shutdowns. You should know to have a little nest egg. But what the other hand that Democrats don't tell you about it on a shutdown, even if they're not working, the non-essentials that get sent home, they get their back pay once the government starts funding. They get paid for all that time. So they don't really... Yeah, it's going to get tight, but as I said, if you take those jobs, you better expect that to happen.
Well, isn't that truly the most ironic name or phrase that you can think of on the planet? Dare I, Jersey Joe, point out the salient aspects of all of this, or a portion of this stupid crap? A, if you're non-essential, why do you have a job? If you're non-essential, then all you're doing is wasting my fucking money.
Yep.
Number one. Number two, everyone knows this was coming. Everyone, both sides of the aisle, Republicans, Democrats, the Unicrats, the globalists, the leftists, the rhinos, they do this same shit all the time. And then everyone goes, oh my God, my skirts are on fire. My hair is covered in oil. I can't set it on fire because I'll be bald. But it happens every year, every time there's a CR. Let me ask you, folks, you tell me, when was the last time we had an actual approved budget through the Senate and through, well, all of Congress? During what presidency and in what year was that? Put on your thinking caps. Go.
I want to say hello to Unleashed Jeremy Hansen in the chat room. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Can I take a shot at that?
Sure.
I want to say 1978, 79 with Carter.
No, oddly enough, that would be beyond horrendous if that were true. It was 1995 under Clinton.
Oh, Jeremy, he did a 94, 96.
Yep. Under Clinton.
Huh.
Now, let's see. Let's say 95, 2005, 2015, 2025. Yeah, it's almost been 30 years since Congress approved an actual budget that wasn't full of crap when both sides had to agree and they actually passed it instead of making a patchwork quilt out of everything, setting it on fire, dunking it in water, setting it on fire again, painting it blue, dropping blue tadpoles in it, setting them on fire, and then trying to pass it off as, oh, we were so stressed. We were stressed. We had to pass this because we had to pass this because we've historically had to pass this because people have said we had to pass this. The Republicans said we had to pass this. The Democrats said we had to pass this. The people who don't know anything about DC said we have to pass this. Oh, it's a crisis. We'll all fall into this big hole in the ground and we're all going to go to hell. Oh, and then someone will step in at the last second and be the heroes. And it'll generally be the Democrat. We saved you from the evil Republicans.
Dad, I'm sending off smoke signals.
Yes. We're saving you from the evil Republicans who were going to damn you to hell. Damn you to hell.
Did you watch the speeches before the vote?
Oh, yeah. Purple-haired weird guy on the Democrat side. I mean,
that's a lady. Yeah,
I know.
Now,
but, hey, listen, if you go into Congress looking like that, then you deserve the ridicule you're going to get.
How old is she? She's like what, 80?
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry. Listen, 80. She should not be dressing like that.
She's, perfectly illustrative and therefore on BZ's board to throw darts at. So fuck you.
The only thing I see when I see her talking, or the only thing I hear is bark, 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 just like a chicken. I swear to God. But she was bashing the CR that got passed tonight. Okay, she bashed it up and down. Well, then why'd they vote for it?
I would bash it.
Why? Yesterday there was a CR, pretty clean CR put forth, and the Democrats spent all day crying and crying and crying about, oh, the children, oh, the farmers, the hurricane victims, oh. And what did they do? They voted down those bills. Now, today a bill went through.
Can I share a couple of screens with you later when you're done?
Why, certainly.
Thank you.
It boggles my mind how, and I know they're playing a psych ops game right now.
Yeah, it's all psyops. All of it.
I don't think I'm going to be upset about this bill that got passed tonight. From what I've seen, there's really nothing to it. It's a very basic bill, which we've been asking for. I understand Trump didn't get his debt ceiling and all that. But for the most part, there really wasn't anything in there. So, all right, what do we got here? I kind of lost the train of thought. So,
I want to put up some things that are illustrative.
This one, the Porkfield stopgap.
Go to the one I've got up now, which is a different one.
This one, no, that one's mine. The only one I have from you is this one.
Oh, okay. Well, then let me go back to that. Because I'm not sure, let me get out of this and screen share. I guess I'm going to have to screen share one at a time, go out and go in every time. So let me cancel this and see if I can share that. Apparently I'll have to do this every time. There we go. This is just one of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 graphics that I'd like to share with everyone. And perhaps I should make myself abundantly clear. My days of bipartisanship and compromise are over. And people either accept me as who I am or not. I'm 74 years old. I've seen enough of this crap for literal decades. I only became interested in politics in the 80s because I was fleeced with taxes when I got a job where I started to make actual money. And then, bing, off the top of my head, I finally realized, the government is turning me upside down like a bad sofa to get every piece of change out from underneath my cushions and coming into my apartment at the time or a house in order to find it. So I don't mind blowing up DC. I'm all about being the disruptor. Fuck the Republicans, fuck the Democrats, fuck bipartisanship and compromise. I want to see disruption. I want to see exactly, not retributive, not in terms of revenge, but I just want to see it in terms of justice from whatever the leftists and Democrats have done to conservatives, because I'm not a Republican anymore. I'm a conservative. I vote independent. I will never vote for a Democrat, but I vote independent, and I'm very selective in terms of who it is that I support for the vote and in terms of cash. I have a great retirement, and I throw cash at the people that I believe in, and they're not always Republicans. That said, look at this. This is what was in the bill.
The original CR.
Yeah, the original CR. But don't tell me that this isn't the crap that every Democrat on the floor in both houses would love to see.
But this is exactly what we're tired of.
Wait. BZ says, exactly. Let's go down the list. Mandates. You'd love to see them back, wouldn't you, people? Vaccine mandates, mask mandates. Let's ruin your employment. Let's ruin you. Let's ruin your bank account. Let's do what Trudeau did in Canada. And if he doesn't like something, he'll simply debank your ass. It'll get to the point, especially if you go CBDB or, did I get that right? Digital banking. Let's just say that. Digital banking. Then your government can stop you from accessing your account or anything if you go to EVs, full EVs, like California demands by 2035. If they don't like you, your social score and everything stops immediately the second you digitize anything or everything. So you want to have mask mandates and vaccine mandates back, don't you? Sure you do. Because if you don't do it, cut off from society. How about vaccine passports? You don't do it, cut off from society. How about the what is a national emergency? Well, it's going to be climate change. Seasons every year, expanded emergency powers, expanded powers of anything and everything the government does. No good, no bueno. The Patriot Act, the thing that is absolutely the most unpatriotic that I can possibly envision. Think of that. Think of a FISA court. Think of expanded emergency powers, gain of function research. Did we not learn our fucking lesson the first time around when the murdering Anthony Fauci decided through all sorts of slippery little channels to take NIH money and ship it over to China? Why? Because he couldn't get away with pulling that crap off here. That's weaponizing biology. Why would you want to do that? Only if you're planning to kill a whole lot of people. Not Led Zeppelin, not a whole lot of love, a whole lot of people. Pause just for a moment. By the way, since BZ is on his platform, do you know why China has been buying every possible, 23andMe, your DNA profile? Why do we want this? China has been buying that off, and the people to whom you've been sending your DNA information are putting that into data banks. Frequently, they are being sold. Who's the biggest purchaser of that? That would be China. Hey, what's the reason for doing that? Don't think that the Chinese, having openly unleashed Wuhan 19 upon the planet, stopped all the flights inside China, but let every domestic flight from China go out and disseminate their lovely buttery goodness into the rest of the world. One of their largest obviously China is our enemy, and if you don't realize that, you're a blubbering fucking idiot. China's goal right now, one of the master goals, they'll get to it eventually because they'll never stop working on it, is to get the genome of so many people via DNA that they can target a disease so that only Chinese and probably Chinese nationals will survive it, but everyone else will die.
Hey, BZ, did you see in Europe they approved a vaccine that's self-replicating? So I get the vaccine and you don't, I'm near you, it can transfer to you.
Oh, sure. Why wouldn't you want to do that?
Fuck
Because
that.
you'd want to pollute anything and everything that leaves human beings standing, except the elite, the globalists, the select few, etc. So gain of function research, sure, we sure as shit ought to be functioning or funding that. How about 12 more regional biolabs? Hey, if they say that about pipelines, you know, the more pipelines you build, the more exposure you have for bad shit. Hey, why don't you take that grand focus and refocus it on 12 regional biolabs? Diverts $200 billion from Social Security. By the way, what doesn't stop during a government shutdown? Well, that's right. Seniors, you're being lied to. Your Social Security doesn't stop. Your Medicare doesn't stop. So, you know, Democrats and some Republicans have been lying about this bullshit for absolute years. This is one that you'll absolutely love, everybody, boys and girls, children of all ages. In that bill was a codicil to prevent investigating or subpoenaing Congress, comma.
You know what that one was about?
What the fuck? Sure, weigh in, please. It's your show, damn it.
No. You know what that one was about, don't you?
Oh, go ahead.
The J6 committee.
Oh, yeah.
They want to protect them because they know they're in deep shit.
Sure,
but
and why shouldn't they be?
Came out with Liz Cheney being showed that she tampered with the witness and all that. Jesus Christ.
Every and any door that Democrats and leftists opened, they should expect everyone else to pile through. You open the door, you shouldn't be shocked or gobsmacked that anybody and everybody else walks through the door that you opened it. You did that to you.
We are so used to their games nowadays, it's not effective.
No.
Because they're, you're trying to do lawfare against us. How dare you? No, this is the shit you did, except now these are people actually broke the fucking law, and we want them held accountable. And we're tired of it. And it's the people, because that's one of the things that pissed me off yesterday. Oh, Elon Musk is a billionaire, and this is what he's doing. No, what stopped that bill was more than Musk. It was the thousands upon thousands of U.S. citizens that spoke up against that CR. We killed that bill. Yes, Musk told us about the bill, explained to us what was going on in that bill, but I've never heard a fucking Democrat complain with George Soros, Michael Bloomberg, Mark Zuckerberg, Mark Cuban, and the list goes on and on with the fucking billionaires that have lined their pockets. Never a goddamn question in. Mark Cuban's what's doing best for America. Now they got an issue.
Yeah, imagine that. Well, you know, Elon Musk having an account on Twitter is no different than anybody else. Sure, he's a billionaire, but what was Elon Musk doing? He was doing his job. What is Doge's job? Doge's job and the job of Vivek Ramaswamy are to rein in this rampant stupidity and spending if you possibly can. Is it possible? It could be. It should be. It damn well better be. Then, of course, they gave themselves, Congress, a $70,000 raise. This is interesting. Did you see the video where CNN was interviewing some Democrat piece of shit and said, "Why are you getting a big allowance? Why should you get this extra?" Well, we haven't had a raise in whatever the hell it was. It doesn't matter. And then he said, and shot back to the investigator, to the guy from CNN. Well, you get raises. Are you going to give any of your money back?
That was Raskin, wasn't it?
Yes, it might have been Raskin.
Here's what I said on Sackhead Strong today in chat. Let's put an amendment in that if Congress gets a raise, Social Security gets the exact same raise.
Sure. Better yet, I have one Damn it. If I'd known I was going to go in this direction, I would have brought in BZ. Maybe on the break, I'll bring this back in. BZ's axioms for a better government. There are 5 or 7 of them that I'll bring to everyone's attention when we come back. One of them would be, if you don't pass a budget, you don't get the second that you go past the budgetary extension, the due date, your money stops. You don't get paid. From the second that you miss your due date on a bill or a budget, you, assholes, don't get paid. So, Congress, can you give yourself a raise? No. Congress can give themselves a $70,000 raise. And, you can keep your doctor too if you just subscribe to Obamacare. And then now, all of these assholes want to get off of Obamacare. Would that be because Obamacare isn't very good?
It sucks, and it's destroyed the insurance industry and made it so unaffordable. With that $70,000 raise, keep that in mind, people. Keep that in the back of your mind, because that's going to be brought up later in this broadcast. But Obamacare, it's funny. Someone just did like a quick poll. And it was, okay, Obamacare, yes or no? And it was like 70, 80% no. Affordable health care. Oh, yeah, 90% yes. What's scary is people don't know that it's the same thing.
It is the same thing.
It is.
You want to make shit simple? How about this? This is so simple. This is so easy. I don't believe it'll really cost much money at all. Make your healthcare portable. When you leave one particular job or you go to another, generally you aspire to get a better job. So unless you have an absolute inability to pay, why shouldn't your health care be portable between one job that you had and another job that you have? Portability. I'm sorry.
To sell over state lines.
It's too simple, and people won't get paid. PADE, paid. Oh, how about the Global Engagement Center, where we'll make sure that we silence your free speech, which is one thing that I have to admire Elon Musk about. I don't love and kiss the feet of Elon Musk. I don't love and kiss the feet of Donald Trump. I voted for these guys who then hooked on to Elon Musk because I think they'll make my life better, not because I admire them or love them.
I don't like Tesla vehicles. You'll never see me buy one of those things.
I hate Teslas. Yeah. There is a doctor. I have a friend that comes on my show named Alan Thomas. He had a doctor for his CRPS, which is a crippling, painful disease which inflames the neurons and makes you suffer from pain 24/7. He had a doctor who was out in a drive one night with his wife in a Tesla. The Tesla took off. It was in Fresno. It ran into a tree at over 100 miles an hour. That was a software problem. That car killed those 2 people. Period. End of statement. No, I don't love Elon Musk. And I'll vote for things when I believe in them, and I'll vote against things when I don't believe in them.
Exactly.
But I think overall, in general, stop and think, folks. I know you got to go on a break here pretty soon, so I'll try to wrap
5 minutes.
This brain sponge piece of weird shit in my brain. Why would anyone not be for Doge? The Department of Government Efficiency. You, as anyone and everyone in both houses, should have glommed on to the concept of Doge. And just as it took Donald Trump, why did it take Donald Trump to say to American blacks, to anybody, everybody, the paint job is absolutely immaterial, but because all Democrats are sexists and racists, and that's all they see life in terms of, why did it take Donald Trump to ask anybody, blacks, American blacks, hey, why don't you come into my tent? My tent is deep and wide, and I'd like to have you. And then he went against all orders, against all common sense, into black portions of the United States of America to try to get people, hey, come on over. I repeat, our tent is open, it's deep and wide, and you're invited. And then why did it take Donald Trump to have an idea of Doge? Well, what? You wouldn't want to run government like a business? You sure as shit would, because otherwise, when we come back, I have 5 graphs to illustrate your loving federal government and how it spends wisely, very wisely.
Now, also in this bill, I want to point out, and I don't understand why it would be in there, redefining juvenile offenders. And it's like U.S. citizens in institution or some bullshit like that.
Yeah. Incarcerated individuals. They're not.
What do they have to do with a
Joe, you are not in keeping with Gaia's great plan. And Gaia's great plan, not God, they don't believe in God, but they believe in Gaia, the tree goddess, with little frills and purple hair and purple skies and nose rings like a bull that you can lead women around with. That's cool. I think that's great. Women think they're cows, superior in every aspect. But you are not in keeping with God's great plan. I'm sorry, Gaia's great plan, Joe. And that is, we must appeal to the leftist side of the aisle to let them know that we are men and women, WOMYN. We are men and women of the people, of the leftists. And that's simply just, God, what's the word I'm looking for? Not mansplaining, rat-splaining. Virtue signaling. That's virtue signaling on their part, letting their constituents know, well, we still think about you. We think about your little purple and blue hair and your sliced off tits when you used to be a girl. You still got your, it doesn't matter. That is virtue signaling for all of that kind of crap. More to come.
Exactly.
Holy shit, more to come.
Oh, I definitely want to hit that Crenshaw after the break. So
yeah, you're going to have to tell me about that, because I have had not my finger on the pulse of that.
Yeah, I even got the reporter interview lined up. And this guy, yes, he's a military personnel, and I respect him and I thank him for it. But that doesn't excuse his actions of late. With that, we're going to hit a break, and we'll be right back right after.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network. Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Attention, all patriotic women of faith. Yep, I'm talking to you, sis. Are you looking for high-quality, super soft apparel that reflects your love for country and your devotion to God? Look no further than Carry Girl Gear. Picture this. You rocking a tee so soft it's like being hugged by a cloud, all while showing off your love for God and country. Sounds dreamy, right? Well, welcome to reality, babes, because that's what we're all about here at Carry Girl Gear. We specialize in super soft tees, tanks, and more, designed specifically for the strong, patriotic woman who proudly wants to carry their message of faith and freedom. When you shop with us, you're not just getting a t-shirt. You're joining a community of like-minded women who are proud to wear their beliefs straight on their tees. So whether you're sipping sweet tea on the porch or leading the charge for faith and freedom, do it in a Carry Girl tee. Because life's too short for stiff, boring tees. CarryGirl.com, where faith and freedom meets fashion.
Come listen to BZ's Berserk Bobcat Saloon Radio Show. Live on select and exclusive Tuesday and Thursday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central, and 8 p.m. Pacific on the SHR Media Rumble channel, SHR Media YouTube channel, X, Twitch, Spreaker, and wherever great conservative podcasts are found. BZ, your conservative Sherpa, guides you through the maelstrom of Democrat, leftist, and globalist lies, chaos, deceit, and betrayal. Raised as a free-range child with dirt, stains, mud, and freedom, BZ broadcasts from North Idaho, comfortably surrounded by actual normal people. Jump into our plush, sumptuous, palatial, and resplendent chat room on rumble.com. Click on live chat to join. Now, with 37% more umbrage and 19% more bulbosity than previous shows, featuring delicious Liberty additives for the best in late-night conservatarian talk radio. BZ reminds you that with great beard comes great responsibility. No chinchillas were harmed, embarrassed, fat-shamed, or the focus of any sarcasm whatsoever in the making of this ad.
What is the Edge of Liberty? News, politics, commentary, sarcasm, alcohol, and high blood pressure. It's as American as a good revolution. So tune in every Monday and Friday at 12 Pacific, 3 p.m. on the East Coast on the SHR Media Network and KLRN Radio. For details, visit www.shrmedia.com.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe. I'm here to make sense out of the senseless. Did you ever echo on that commercial?
No different than when I've heard that commercial before. No,
Okay.
Not on this end. Let me say that.
All right, it might have just been something on my end. My computer just may have had like a little mini stroke or something. It was like echoing.
Before you move on to your next topic, and I know you want to talk about Crenshaw. Can you go back to that original thing that I put up there about what the CR bill contains? I want to point out one last salient aspect.
This one?
Yeah, perfect. This is how naked and craven are the Democrats or whomever put this last bit in, although it was for the Democrats. They were hoping to slip this crap in, and that bill in its iteration in that form would have allowed Congress to completely do away with subpoenas for their data for all Congress critters, House, Senate, such as email, such as things that would otherwise normally be discoverable, which would impede criminal investigations into members of Congress. So not only do they screw Obamacare, oh, we don't want it, it's bad, even though we pushed the fuck out of it. And you have to vote for the bill before you read it. And even though we are going to give ourselves a raise, no one else on the planet except a politician has the ability to do that. We're also going to not consider you, and of course you're last, and we'll do this with your taxpayer dollars. We'll make sure that we find a way that you or any other investigative body cannot go back into, with a warrant of course, or a subpoena, can't go into our records like any and every other normal citizen is subject to. That is such naked, incredible, craven, abject arrogance, and that was in the bill. Why? For J6. But it potentially could have benefited, I don't know, Republicans too, because, as I say, when you open one door, mostly Democrats expect everyone else to tromp through in a timely fashion, and they will. So why is it that you folks, as taxpayers, would want the elite, all those assholes in D.C., to not be subject to the same thing that you are? That crap has to stop immediately. But that was in there. Yep. Everything that they put in there was purposeful. It was all intentional to benefit them and fuck you.
The one thing I'm pretty sure of is Mike Johnson just screwed himself. That he will not be the Speaker of the House come the new year, because they're recessed until after January. So I don't know. All right. Let's get on to dipshit Crenshaw. Like I said, he's military. Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you get a free pass on life.
No.
So it starts out with this interview.
For a ban on Congress members trading stocks?
Yeah, I mean, this is like number 1,000 on my priority list of things to care about. This is one of those stupid things that I've been.
Look at the kind of and condescending look on his face. How dare you?
What
ask me this?
what clear thinking individual hasn't wondered why a Congress critter whose base budget is like AOC, it's $174,000 when you first come in. And for senators, I think the base is 220, 240, something like that. How do you think these assholes become millionaires? Because they vote and know and are made aware of shit in terms of stocks and bonds, where if they operate on them prior to a release, for example, an IPO, they already know about that. And then they can take their money and pitch it into something that they know is coming. So the second you have a Congress critter like that, dude, I'm sorry you lost an eye. Good for your service. You can still be a dickweed. And apparently he is still a dickweed.
He's made more money in the stocks than Pelosi.
If you denigrate that and well, I speak leftist, so I'll translate. I can make money. How I make money is of no concern of yours, little boy and little girl. Move on. Nothing to see here. It's not any of my it's not on my radar because I'm fucking benefiting from it. So just move on. This is not the stock insider trading you're looking for.
Yep. And it gets better from here.
Been dragged through the mud on. You know how much fucking money I've ever had in the stock market? About $20,000, and yet I've been dragged through the mud on this as if like there's some insider trading. I just sent a letter to Fox News, a threatening letter from my lawyers, threatening them with defamation because Jesse Waters had basically insinuated that I was insider trading. Of course, it's not true. You'd be more surprised how much little information we have. This is one of those bills that of course, yeah, people support it. Yeah, sure, okay. Who cares? Because I don't have I barely have anything in the market anyway.
Okay, can you hold that just for a second?
Yeah. Are there a couple cases
if he didn't care so much,
things that I've been dragged through the mud?
That's exactly what I'd like to say. If it's no big deal, then shut the fuck up and let it happen. If it's no skin off your nose, asshole, then hey, let it go. Move on. You can move on. Doesn't mean anybody else needs to move on. But if you want to move on and obfuscate, that's fine. But if it's no skin off your nose, then I don't want to see a microgram of umbrage from you on it.
Yep.
On this as if like there's some insider trading. I just sent a letter to Fox News, a rating. Of course, it's not true. You'd be more surprised how much little information we have. This is one of those bills that like
bullshit.
Of course, yeah, people support it. Yeah, sure, okay. Who cares? Because I don't have I barely have anything in the market anyway. Are there a couple cases wherein Nancy Pelosi has some very suspicious timing of her trades? Yeah, that has happened. But nobody else can point any other examples out.
Okay,
so, sure. So why not? Don't let us trade stuff.
Okay. It's another BZ if-then equation. If this is no big deal, then why is it of occasion to you? Mm-hmm. If it's no big deal, if you're not involved in it, okay, that's great. That's cool. That's wonderful. So why would anyone there, whether there's a chance of it or not, if in terms of guns, if we can save just one life from proscribing every gun in America, if it's worth it, well then, on that manner of thinking, shouldn't it be obvious that if we can keep one Democrat or one Republican from being corrupt, we should do that, shouldn't we? And why would you have any objection to that? It's very simple. Just do it. So let's see if I get this right. I think it was a Shakespearean quote, but perhaps not. Methinks you protest too much.
Yep. All right.
Stocks. How about we'll just keep whipping ourselves. How about we don't make any money either? How about just cut our paychecks? We haven't gotten a pay raise since 2008.
Again?
Even a COLA increase. So, Yeah, no, actually, no, yeah, this is a great idea. Let's make Congress a place where only the millionaires can actually afford to do the job. This is a wonderful idea. Let's just keep doing that.
Halt that just for a
Because
second.
and then some.
Okay. You stupid fucking asshole. What individual in the United States of America, in West Virginia, for example, in North or South Dakota, for example, in Louisiana or Mississippi or Georgia, what individual wouldn't want to make a base salary of $174,000? What you're doing is calling everyone who makes less completely inconsequential. You don't matter. 174. I can't live on $174,000. I don't know what I'm gonna do if I don't get my congressionally mandated pay raise. Because everyone in the United States of America would look at $174,000 and think, "Fuck, dude, I've hit the lottery."
Oh yeah. But yeah, you're also forgetting in the pension.
Oh, the pension, the benefits, the health care they get in perpetuity, the free banking that they get.
Yep.
It's always some member, right, who senses the populist energy and then mirrors it, believing that this is what's going to help me connect with the people. Because what do the people want? Well, they want an easy button. All my problems will be solved if there's no stock trading. All my problems will be solved if there's term limits. Yeah, but if you think about any of these things for 5 whole minutes, you might quickly come to a different conclusion. Now, what I vote for? Yeah, sure. Who cares? Who cares? Like it doesn't matter to me because I don't have any fucking money to put in the stock market.
Okay.
Now this is one of his light ones.
So at this point, I know you're going to, but at this point, you don't even have to play what Cat Turd wrote or said or whatever video or prior post Cat Turd referred to. At this point, that guy right there has proven to me the absolute incredible arrogance and conceit of most of these people in Congress. That's why I say I am all for disruption. To me, DC has to be leveled. It all has to go back to its congressional and fundamental foundation, its constitutional foundation. There are 5 precepts that I wanted to get into, if you don't mind me. One of them, of course, being before any bill goes out on either side of the House, the Senate, it has to be run through a congressional committee, a constitutional committee, every bill. And the only job of that particular committee would be to ask and then answer, is this bill constitutional? If it isn't, out with it. And you wouldn't even have a bill unless some set of individuals somewhere decided, and probably best not DC people, is this bill constitutional? Then I have 5 other precepts that I found, if you don't mind me going into them.
Let me get through this real quick.
Please.
You can have the floor.
Thank you.
Number 1, I love community notes. Dan Crenshaw's estimated net worth is $1.47 million, and his trade volume is $313,000, not $20,000. His stock trades are up 44% this year. But no, he doesn't do any insider trading.
He's just another lying DC shitstick asshole, minus an eye and having been through the military. I have to be honest. Crenshaw, I couldn't give a shit less that you missed your eye or that you served in the military. That all went behind you the second you got elected, and now you serve the people.
Yep.
And now apparently you serve yourself.
And then it goes on. Now the war with Cat Turd came about because Cat Turd posted, get it right. Dan Crenshaw is American last, American first war pig who doesn't need a raise because all the money he makes when he miraculously became a stock expert since joining Congress. Ooh. So Crenshaw Here, let me put this up. So
Ooh, that I'm sure that set him off 210 over 190 right there, because he's he's a man of the people, Jersey Joe.
no. So he jumps in. Anonymous cowards like Cat Turd talking shit without any evidence. I'm used to it. Sorry, I was guy fighting the wars that little bitches like you would never dare to. One of us has actually served this country and continues to, while losers like you make money being trolls on social media. I have lived in wherever that is, just outside of Houston. If you think I'm rich, you're a fucking idiot. The people getting off rich politics are the influencers like Cat Turd selling their platforms to the highest bidder. Sorry to break it, y'all. That's not true. By the way, Cat Turd served in the Army.
But the corollary to that, Jersey Joe, is he didn't know. He didn't do an investigation.
No,
therefore, that means he doesn't care. He doesn't have to care.
It just, and that's not even the bad one. I can't find the other one. I mean, he called American people incels. Anybody that was against the CR and all that, we are incels. We are insignificant little bitches. But this is the one that really chafed my ass. Let me pull it up, and then I'm going to give you the floor. But I have a funny feeling you're going to get a little pissed on this one.
I might.
Whoa. Yeah! Who hasn't heard, Crenshaw said, quote, "The most important thing here is that we have important hero archetypes that we look up to. Jesus is a hero archetype, Superman is a hero archetype. Real characters too. I could name 1,000.
Now, this is a little girl. You see her, right?
Right. From what I can see here, it looks like her voice sounds very young, and she's not very tall. That's about what I can tell right now.
Rosa Parks, Ronald Reagan, end quote. I can't wrap my head around this.
Well, I'll help you. Put a period after the word Jesus and don't question my faith.
Wow.
Now, I'm not, and I don't know why it went sideways.
Probably somebody holding the camera did that, but
I'm not super Christian or Catholic, but that was blasphemy what he did. That actually, I'm just going to call it, that was fucked up what he did. Plain and simple.
I'm not going to get as upset as you think I would, having seen that previous video that you played, and then having seen that information, and then having heard what it is that he thinks of people that are trying to keep government honest. What would possibly anyone want to do to justify insider trading from people in DC? If you don't believe it, that should be one of the first things that you would sign off on, if you're honest. And apparently that tells me all that I needed to know about him at that point. Now, Texas, if you elect this turd himself again, you're going to get everything that you deserve, which will be himself trying to enrich himself and grow his pockets like every other DC asshole and assholette.
Yep. Actually, there's
one
last tweet. Let me go over. I found it.
Sure.
DC sources tell me that Dan Crenshaw is spearheading the effort to get a pay raise for Congress. Last week, when he was asked about stock trading, Crenshaw whined that members of Congress haven't had a pay raise, yada, yada. His response was, yeah, or maybe you're a fucking lying piece of shit because I'm not even on the yes list for the whip team. Never have been. But hey, whatever gets you pathetic bottom feeders, your clickbait, fucking insults.
Again, I continue with that. Number one, he's using leftist language. No one knows what a fucking incel is. For those who don't know, an incel is a young little stupid male, generally a leftist, generally a Democrat, who are so ugly or so wrong or so poor or so just screwed up and nerd-like that they can't get dates, they can't get women, no one wants to have anything to do with them. So him using leftist language instead of stating something clearly indicates to me, well, that's where he is. That's where he's leaning. Perhaps he initially, I'll give him a slight benefit of the doubt. Perhaps when he initially got there, his goal was to be honest, to be pure, to try to do the people's work. He's doing the exact opposite, as are most every other land lizard in DC right now, which is why I say, get rid of them, disrupt them, turn this shit upside down like the federal government does to me and you every year. Turn us upside down, empty out every coin, every possible penny out of us to embiggen the wallets of these assholes and the people in the deep state. It's ironic, is it not, how Democrats and leftists are all of a sudden saying, oh, Elon Musk, he's not elected, but they don't mind the regulations brought down by people who were absolutely 100% unelected in all of these little boards and councils that are rife all over DC, the EPA. They can regulate anything they want, and no one voted them in, but have Elon Musk do something that is in contravention of their philosophy. Oh, bad.
George Soros. I mean, right off the bat, George Soros. And I said earlier, Michael Bloomberg, Mark Zuckerberg, Mark Cuban, Warren Buffett. All right, the list goes on and on with the billionaires that have influenced the Democrat policies. So it's like, spare me. And all Elon Musk did was use his free speech. That's it.
And because he's a billionaire, does he get less free speech? No. Does he get more free speech? No. He should have the exact same amount that everybody else did. George Soros spent $100 million in the Harris campaign. Elon Musk spent $100 million for the Trump campaign. Michael Bloomberg, the number 2 contributor to the Harris campaign of an individual, $20 million. And what's the deal with Soros having funded everything leftist for the past 20 years? And the answer is, there is no difference. No difference whatsoever. So why complain now? Because shit is not going on over there. Oh boy, here we go.
From Axios.
Let me just show you this, folks. This just came in.
From Axios.
This is from Axios. I don't know if you can see that. This is from Newsmax. Biden is going to commute sentences of death row inmates.
What?
40 death row inmates. This just came in via Axios. And Axios, by the way, boys and girls, is leftist in origin. This is from a leftist organ that Newsmax is simply reporting. 40 death row inmates. Biden has commuted, and Biden has pardoned 8,000 people. Now Biden wants to commute sentences of death row inmates. Folks, are you shocked? Thank you.
Wait a minute. This man is not cognitive enough to run again. He's not cognitive enough to stand trial.
He didn't make those decisions.
Oh, I know that. I mean, it came out today that his administration has been covering up for him.
I'm going to be talking about that on one of my next shows from the Wall Street Journal. That article in itself is worth reading. You're running out of time. So can I go through my last political points for axioms? This is what we ought to be doing. Number 1 is what I call the goose and gander, the Equal Application Act. Every federal law created applies to every federal employee, no matter their age, their sex, their job, their title, their position, or hours. No federal employee or contractor will be exempted from any federal law. Not politicians, not judges, not clerks, not lobbyists in federal employ. No exemptions for everyone, period. You either apply the law in a blanket fashion or you don't consider it. What's good for the American people should be good for all. That's number 1. Number 2, attorneys are going to revolt over this. It's what I call the Tort Reform Act. 2 words, loser pays everything. You want to talk about a chilling effect? Okay, let's talk about the chilling effect there. Now, we have loser pays. Do you think possibly that would cut down on the torts filed in courts? Absolutely. And then the third one is truth Oh, we don't need no stinking truth. I call it the Transparency in Bills Act. And this would definitely have to do with the CR. Each bill is going to have one fundamental topic. There will be no riders, no confusion, no attachments, no hanging something about military funding on a bill about ducks and geese, no trying to slide something stupid and surreptitiously through some kind of bland bill. One bill, one topic, period. End of statement, including CRs. Number 4, we can't move our cash around anymore. I call this the Truth in Budgets Act. Monies acquired through a given bill will be held only for that bill. No more mixing or stealing or moving cash in the dead of night from one topic or account to another. Encumbered funds for one bill shall remain in a given account, that account. No stealing from Peter to pay Paul. Taxpayers expected you to fix the, whatever the hell with that cash. They don't want you to fund a bill for blind gay Estonian monopod dwarves just because. Oh, like California does all the time. One bill, one topic, no riders. Truth. And the 5th. This should have been enacted decades ago. It's the E-Verify Act. Every employer has to use E-Verify. From the teeniest, winkiest of little businesses to every mega corporation. If an individual is not a lawful resident of the United States, they shouldn't be employed. You want to impact wall building. Try minimizing the necessity for building that wall. When illegals can no longer profit from draining America and from being the parasites that they are, guess what happens? That's right. America gets less trained, and America gets to be less the host from those parasites. What a revelation. So let's do something unique. Let's try keeping America's cash in America. What a concept. What a couple of concepts.
Exactly. I was also just reading up on some of the people that will get commuted on that death sentence bullshit. Darian Roof, who murdered 9 people at a black church.
So that was accurate then.
Oh, yeah, it's all over. Robert Bauer, who committed the most deadly anti-Jewish hate crime in U.S. history.
Why shouldn't you pardon him?
Sarnak, the Boston bomber. These are the people he wants to commute their sentence. That's
the whole point of this. And it doesn't have, I don't believe it has a thing to do with Biden. It has a thing to do with all the Democrats and the leftists that are behind Biden.
Yep.
And the only purpose of this is, let's do everything we can. Let's get us all together, all 20, let's say a core cadre of 20 people who run Biden right now. And let's all bend over, drop trow, and let's all shit in the Trump punch bowl together at the very last second, hashtag because we can.
Well, that's kind of like what I was going to say at the beginning of the show. That's weird. The timer on this says I've been live for 29 minutes. I know I've been live longer than that.
I'm looking up at my upper left on me right here, and it says 59 minutes.
Yeah, so does mine. It just, I'm like, damn, that counter's off. You had Extreme Hakeem Jeffries out there tonight. Beforehand, he was bashing. We're not going to pass. We're not going to pass. They go and pass the CR. And what do you do? Oh, we passed it because we wanted it to pass. Yada, yada, yada. The only reason they passed it because they get to give a middle finger to Mike Johnson. They get to give the middle finger to Donald Trump. That's all it was.
Exactly. It's no more complicated than that. I have a few more things I'd like to point out why you can't trust your government. I'm going to take this down after you see it and then put another one back up. Pentagon fails 7th audit in a row, unable to fully account for $824 billion, your American taxpayer dollars. If no one makes them give a shit about that money, they will not give a shit about that money. And that's Thug's Law. Thug's Law is what's mine is mine and what's yours is mine, unless you're strong enough to stop me. Now, I speak leftist, as I say, and I will translate. And that means we're going to do anything unlawful, illegal, or absolute craven that we can unless people stop us, sue us, physically stop us, or sue us, or war on paper or within the legislature against us. So until you stop us and make us accountable for that, hello, Doge, we're going to keep on being absolutely unaccountable to no one. I want to take this down now. Let me stop this. And let me see if you can put up this next one. I might have to go all the way out and back in again. Do you see one from the National Review?
No.
Okay. I'll just read this then because I'm killing your time. Here's one from the National Review. This is from November 19th, 2024. $236 billion in improper federal payments in 2023. The GAO says, does anyone care? No. That's your American tax dollars. It's not their money. They couldn't give a shit less. Here's another one from ABC News. More than $200 billion in pandemic relief potentially squandered, says the government watchdog report. The sum amounts to approximately 17% of the $1.2 trillion dispersed by the SBA, the Small Business Association. No one cares. Thug's Law. Here's another one from the Washington Post. U.S. failed to track $1 billion in Ukraine military aid, watchdog says. The Pentagon Inspector General's findings come as President Biden urges Congress to pass a massive package of additional assistance for Ukraine. No one cares. No one is held accountable because that's not their money. That's your money. That's American taxpayer dollar money. And we have run out of time.
Yes.
I thank you so kindly for having me on, sir.
Anytime. Tell everybody where they can find you.
I am BZ. I have been off this past week. I think I'll probably be doing a show on Sunday night about drones, where I'm trying to reveal and provide revelation in terms of what is going on right now. Well, I have two things about what they aren't. I know what they aren't. So then let's talk about what they are. That's going to be on a special show Sunday night, 8 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Central, and 11 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be on X, Twitter, at BZ's Saloon, on Twitter, at 2 Against Tyranny. It's going to be on the SHR Media YouTube channel, and it's also going to be on the SHR Media Group Rumble channel. And then I'm on customarily Tuesday and Thursday nights. I'm a late night talk show. And that starts at 8 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Central, and 11 p.m. Eastern. And again, Jersey Joe, thank you so kindly, sir, for having me here.
No problem. And if I don't see you, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, sir. And to everyone for watching Jersey Joe tonight and watching SHR. Thank you kindly. You guys could be anywhere else than right here, and we all appreciate your being here.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Have a good night, sir. All right, everybody. It's the weekend. I want everybody to have fun this weekend. It's the week before Christmas, but I want you to be safe. Get ready for Christmas. Spend some time with your loved ones. And I want to thank everybody for being here. You could have been in many places on a Friday night, but you were here. I want to thank you. And I'll see you Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here